Audio on demand from Vision Christian Media.
Exploring faith and the future. Neil Johnson and Bible teacher Dr. Camille Majdali.
We've been talking all about Christianity and its impact on Europe. And then when we got to the time talking about the Enlightenment, we began to talk about an experiment. The experiment being the United States. Camille, in our last program, you were talking about the US experiment being a positive. But what are the negatives that came from this age of reason, this Enlightenment time?
Great question, Neil. First of all, just really down to earth. I believe God gives all of us a reasoning capacity. That's part of us being in the image of God. And the reasoning capacity with certain checks and balances and restraints can be very positive. How do you think we had an agricultural revolution, an industrial revolution, a renaissance, and of course, technological explosion in our day, which is phenomenal between cyberspace and the personal computers or the Macs. Incredible, wonderful things have happened. At the same time, the Bible cautions over what I would term an excessive reliance on human reason. This is in Proverbs 3, verses 5 and 6. Classic verses. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not unto your understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. It is not negating human reason here in Proverbs, which is the book of wisdom, as we know. It is limiting reason, saying that human reason can go so far, but you don't want to unduly rely on it at the expense of faith and trust in God. Because if you do, you will go into error and you will go into extremism. That's what I believe Proverbs is aiming at. Well, that's, of course, what happened. The Enlightenment, especially in France, went way overboard. They, of course, some of the Enlightenment people were like Jean-Jacques Rousseau or René Descartes. These are Frenchmen, and they made their great contribution. But the thing is, the French watched the Americans have their revolution against Britain, and of course, they're thinking, what about us? Remember that in the American Revolution, France actually sent soldiers to fight with the American revolutionaries against the British. Well, 1789, France has its revolution, but the outcome was really different to the American version. And in fact, I think we're still feeling the tremors till now, Neil.
And Camille, the difference being one of those had Christ at the centre, a connecting of reason to the Bible. Another, the French Revolution, detached that reason from the biblical foundation.
Well, yes, the French Revolution apparently, and of course we're talking about Catholic version of Christianity, and the Cathedral of Notre Dame, which is a grand cathedral still there in Paris to this day. Apparently the French took Mary, the Virgin Mary or the image of Mary, and dethroned her, and then instead they enthroned human reason as the Queen of France. And after that, of course, it was a very, very blood-filled reign of terror. And the guillotine came, and off with their heads. In addition, of course, after that came the Napoleonic dictatorship. That was the beginning legacy of reason going awry.
Faith and the future with Neil Johnson and Dr. Camille Majdali from Teach All Nations. Find articles, videos and podcasts from Dr. Camille, plus today's and other episodes of Faith and the Future in the Vision app or at vision.org.au.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.